Hello, and welcome back to another Millennial Minute. I'm your host, Julia Sun. Today's hot topic: when political candidates campaign against each other, should their family members be off limits? You've already heard from our guest, AJ Swinson. She's the chief of staff for the new Journey PAC, and joining her is David Aronov, a New York City Council candidate. Welcome, you two. Look, I'm going to start with the candidate, David, okay? You're going through this. How does it feel for you if your opponent attacks your family member for a, let's say, legitimate reason?
I think it is really uncalled for in a local race. We should be focusing on what people care about in this district, how we're going to best move forward on the path to recovery post-COVID-19. And I think that it distracts voters from the issues at hand.
Well, see, in the most recent presidential election, both family members of Donald Trump and Joe Biden were exposed in broad sunlight. And AJ, you think that's fine because that's something we would like to know, right?
And voters will make decisions based on the information that they have. They may say, as they did with Joe Biden, we don't care that Hunter Biden, did some business deals. We don't care that he used his father's name. It wasn't illegal. And we still support him. So voters will still support who they want to support, but the fact that he was doing that is something that voters need to know. And the fact that he's Joe Biden's son shouldn't protect him from being discussed in that way.
Look, David, you talk about you're running for a local race. Say if one day you're running for Congress or you're running for a higher office, would you say the rules would change then?
Well, I think it's different if you're talking about, somebody's personal life or their professional life and what they've done, in their work, and examining their work record and professional record. And the same thing with talking about Hunter Biden. I don't think it's really appropriate to bring up, his substance abuse, prior addictions. I think that's distracting. It's not focusing on what really matters. And if he has an issue, then he needs to get the help that he needs. It turns people off from campaigns overall, and then bringing into the negative campaigning between family members. This is why a lot of people are disillusioned from our political system.
Well, look, David, I will say, as a voter myself, if a male candidate has had lots of affairs, I would like to know that. Do you think that's something that can be exposed?
Again, that's somebody's personal life. I don't think that's something that should be brought into the forefront. It's distracting from the issues at hand. How are communities going to move forward? What are the issues that we're talking about? How are you going to help somebody keep their, city job? How are you going to help that person put food on the table? I think that's what people care about. Personal life is a personal life. If you want to examine somebody's professional record, that's fine. But I don't think personal matters should be brought into campaigning.
Okay. And AJ, on the flip side of that, some people say, okay, it's okay if we know about this person's history or even their adult children's history, but do you think younger children should be off limits? Should their mental health record, for instance, should be off limits?
Oh, definitely not. You had people that came at Barron Trump saying, oh, he must have autism, things like that, making fun of him. You had the same thing with Chelsea Clinton. She was, horribly made fun of when she was a young woman, at a pivotal time in her life. Children should be off limits. As was said, mental illness, mental health, and things like that. Those are not things to joke about. So I agree, there should be boundaries. But like you said, with affairs, if a man is disloyal to his wife, why would a voter think he'll be loyal to them? So there is some aspects of that voters should know, and they should be able to make the decision for themselves.
Okay. And last question I want to ask you both is, what do you think is the difference between learning about a family's circumstances and attacking someone's family? David?
I think learning, is one thing, right? Because things come out into the forefront. But if another political candidate wants to capitalize to attack another candidate based on family matters or family issues, I think that's a problem. I think it's unacceptable, and it distracts from why people should vote for for that other candidate, right? If you're just going to attack your opponent based on something that has nothing to do with the issues that people care about, then what case are you making for voters? Why should they vote for you opposed to the other candidate?
And AJ, what do you think?
I agree. I remember when people attacked Sarah Palin's daughter for getting pregnant out of wedlock, and that actually hurt the other side in some ways. People thought, well, that's judgmental. So as a campaign, you have to weigh that. You can turn voters off of you by attacking children and attacking issues like that that are sensitive and using it. And you also can't base your platform on what the other person's child or cousin or whomever is doing, because that will definitely backfire.
Okay, got it. So David, my understanding is you think as a candidate you hate it, and both of you seem to agree it's a fine line to tread. All right, well, thank you both for being here. It's great to have you. And thank you for watching Millennial Minute. I'm Julia Sun. See you soon.